Whatever your vice, we're here to celebrate it tonight. Welcome to Denver, Colorado, where the 3-4 Nightwings take on the 3-4 Las Vegas Fury from Richard L. Snowden Memorial. Let's do it. From all of us at the Simulation Football League, welcome to Week 9 Monday Night Spectacular. Aaron Gooden and Justin Reside on stats. Chris Curtis and Tyler Falk back in the SFL studios. He's Stephen Hacker. I'm Cameron Irvine. We got the Vice Wars unis from Denver tonight, and we've got two teams hoping to be playoff bound, getting ready for action this evening.
And it's a big game for both of these teams, Cameron. This is one that they just know. They know it's going to be on the schedule. They know to expect it every year, and they bring the same hostility each and every year. And when you put playoffs in the picture, you know, this game has playoff implications. Well, it makes the game that much sweeter, and you know that they're really going to lay it all on the line in this game.
Denver in their Vice Blacks, you'll see some players, some numbers are blue, some numbers are pink tonight. Really cool spin on things. Wars down the right side of the pants, Vice down the left side of the pants. Vegas in their traditional white tops and black pants. From Richard L. Snowden, we are ready to go. 3-4 Vegas, 3-4 Denver. We've been waiting for this all week. The ball's on the tee from Matt Rage. The hands in the air, and here we go. Kick it, we're underway on Monday nights. From the 10, Denver on the return, past the 30, 35, up to the 37-yard line, returned by Dylan Lewis. And that's where Gene Struthers sets up his offense.
And Struthers, I think, is going to need to just stay patient in this ball game, Cam. You know, it's going to be both these quarterbacks are really going to need to be a little bit of a bus driver in this one. You need to make smart throws, take what the defense gives you. So I wouldn't if it was me, I wouldn't come out here and test the secondary. I'd just come out and try to get something quick if I'm going to throw the ball.
Struthers 6 touchdowns, 5 picks this season, 1,310 yards. Logan Keel in the slot goes in motion. Split backs in the backfield for Struthers. Nickel look for Vegas's defense, down to 4 on the play clock. They'll hand it off to Bailey O'Shaughnessy. He is sweeping left, and he is caught in the backfield for a loss of 5. John Osiris strings him out, and that's a good start for Vegas's defense, led on the defensive front by Frank Stackhouse, Anthony Stover, and A.K. Jones. Your linebackers, Maurice Lloyd, Luke Swift, Osiris, and Logan Thronberg. The secondary includes Justin Reside, Andre Tucker, Anthony Wyo, Merrick Itera, Mike Jones, and the Hall of Famer Max Jackson. 2nd and 15 now, in a early passing situation for Denver. Struthers with a single back look, back to throw. He'll dump it off to Bailey O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy going to break off one, but almost nothing on that gain. Anthony Stover with the tackle.
Yeah, and O'Shaughnessy is a capable receiver, 27 receptions on the season, averaging about 8 yards a catch, and just absolutely shut down on that one.
3rd and long for Denver on the opening drive. Out of the empty, back to pass. Denver's Struthers rolling left, hit as he threw. The pass is caught. Logan Keel at midfield. A dime from Gene Struthers to convert the first 3rd down of the night.
And when you need a big play in the Denver offense, you look for Logan Keel, averaging 20.7 yards per play, but didn't need all those yards there on that one. Just needed to move the chains, and that's exactly what you want from your star receiver.
Ball just outside the 48-yard line now for Denver. 1st and 10 as they reset the sticks. We talked about the 3rd downs on this week in the SFL. Both teams top 10 in 3rd down conversion percentage. Bailey O'Shaughnessy turns the corner and is wrestled down by Mike Jones after a 5-yard pickup. This Denver offense includes Struthers and O'Shaughnessy, but also a capable fullback, R.E. Mills, out of the backfield. At receiver, Alex Jackson, Logan Keel, Jeremy Mosley, and Dylan Lewis. Tight ends are Keith Wheeler and Chris Althor, and when they do pass, this offense can really mix things up. 3 different receivers with over 20 receptions, and Lewis has added 11. O'Shaughnessy near a 1st down. They're going to give it to him at least initially. Wonder if Vegas will try to burn a challenge this early.
I expect to see the red flag stay in the pocket. close enough that you just want to give it to him, let your defense try to settle in, maybe make a better stop here, as Denver's not in field goal range just yet.
7:48 to go in the first quarter, relying on that defense that's forced a ton of punts this season. That pass is caught by Jeremy Mosley for another Denver first down, and Struthers is off to a hot start tonight, 2 for 2. 3 for 3, actually.
And that's what you want. Again, you want your quarterback to stay involved in your game plan. You don't want to game plan your quarterback out of the ball game. So I like Denver's MO here. Come out, you get Bailey O'Shaughnessy going, but you look to get Gene Struthers involved in your game plan. I think that's a good recipe.
4 for 4, actually, for Gene Struthers, as I continue to shortchange him at the 35-yard line. As Struthers drops back to pass, is going to take off and run. Gene Struthers will do that a time or two. He'll pick up 4 yards.
And that's a reasonable gain. You're not mad at your quarterback for that. If there's nothing there, you don't question his decision. He tucked the ball and he took off running, got 4 yards for your offense. Now 2nd and 6. This is definitely manageable.
Struthers, 32 yards on 11 carries this season. Does not have a rushing touchdown, but picks up 4 there. 2nd down and 6. He'll toss it out to Bailey O'Shaughnessy, and in the open field, going to make a couple people miss, but Max Jackson puts him in the grass just ahead of the sticks. So 3rd and 1 for Denver now on a 3+ minute opening drive.
And 3 Fury defenders had to make that stop, and that's what it's going to take all game long. This game is just getting started, so Las Vegas is going to have to keep that same energy all game long.
3rd and 1 for Struthers, 2 for 2 on his previous 3rd down attempts. Struthers flips it out. Bailey O'Shaughnessy did not get a block from Mills and won't get a first down. A huge miss there as Mike Jones stops Denver in their tracks.
Yeah, and Denver they have to feel good. I mean, that's a great start to the game, but maybe just left a little bit of meat on the bone here as your offense looked capable getting down the field up until that last 2 run stops.
Field goal is up and good from 35 yards away. Hudson James has struggled just a bit, kicking this season 14 for 17, but now 15 for 18. That kick is up, and Denver's got the first points of the game.
Again, great way to start. You want to start with some momentum on your side. So to take your first possession down the field and you get 3 points, that's a great way to start your ball game. And again, gives you your offense something to grow off of. And if Gene Struthers can keep up what he did there, Denver's in a really good spot here. Now let's see how the Fury can respond with their offensive game plan, Cam.
Eric Price, 8 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 1,422 yards. And against Arizona last week in the passing game, he was just outstanding. Didn't blow up the stat sheet. He hasn't done that much all season, but every throw he made was laser focused. And this receiving core is pretty capable, led by Mason Kirby, 24 catches and a touchdown on the season. Doug Britton goes in motion. First down for Las Vegas, and they'll start with a handoff to Hubba Kimbrell, and Kimbrell picks up 5 yards. You mentioned the sheer amount of carries that we might see tonight. Hubba leads the league with 257 through the first 7 games.
Yeah, really, it's a unmovable object and an unstoppable force in this game. Bailey O'Shaughnessy leads the league in rushing yards. Right behind him, Hubba Kimbrell. Hubba Kimbrell leads the league in carries. Bailey O'Shaughnessy's 3rd. So it's really, these teams want to get involved with the ground game.
Doug Britton moves inside. Hubba Kimbrell playing bully ball. Kimbrell outside past the 40. Hubba Kimbrell down the sideline beyond midfield. Denver's got to do a better job of closing those gaps. First down, Vegas.
Yeah, and in terms of open field tackling in this game, just from a roster perspective, you got to give the plus to Vegas. They've got a Hall of Famer, Max Jackson. They've got Merrick Itera. They've got really good playmakers in the defensive backfield. So if you need an open field tackle from your defensive backs, Vegas, I think, has the edge here in this one.
One guy on Denver's defense that's been elite this season is their rookie, Luis Quintana, 48 tackles, top 10 in the league in TFLs, pick sixes, and forced fumbles as well. First and 10 coming up for Vegas after the long Hubba Kimbrell run. Leon Sandcastle goes in motion, in-season signing from Las Vegas. And look at that. That is caught by Sandcastle, who went in motion. A signing from week 7 gets a first down for Las Vegas. That's his first catch of his career.
Yeah, and you love to see that. You get your opportunity. You get a chance to get out on the field. You've been working hard all week, and then to get your number called, Eric Price definitely going to start looking back towards 82 again as this game goes on.
4:35 to go in the first quarter. Vegas's offense will get you the full lineup coming up here shortly. Play fake from Eric Price. That pass is deflected at the line. Well done there from big number 66 there on the defensive front, giving the rest of that line a breather. Vegas's offense, Eric Price, the backup quarterback switch thumper. Haven't seen much of him this season, but he is back there in case something happens to Price. Hubba Kimbrell, Brad Taylor Wright in the backfield. Barney Burner, Jacob Morrison, Alice Itera, Mason Kirby, Doug Britton, Prince Wonder. A slew of receivers on this team. John Blades, Leon Sandcastle at tight end, Sam Yeager, and Ova Yanda on the line. They'll hand it off this time to Hubba to make it a more manageable third down, and this is where Vegas has been money this season. 3rd and 7 coming up.
Yeah, and this is whenever they like to use Eric Price. They found some healthy plays that really get them out of these 3rd and 7 situations, and I think this is right where Vegas wants to be.
3rd and 7. Eric Price stepping back, fires sideline, incomplete, knocked away from Doug Britton. Excellent pass breakup there from Denver's defense, and both Ds have come to play tonight, and that is going to be outside of Matt Rage's range. Denver will force a punt.
Yeah, so we'll see Dustin McBrackett on the field, and one of the better punters in the league gets a great opportunity to pin the Nightwings offense way back in their own territory. I think that the defense was really prepared on that last play, Cam. That corner route is normally a play that works for Vegas. I just think that Denver has come prepared for this game. Denver has come prepared for this Vegas offense in this game. Plenty of time to prepare for this rival.
Man, McRack's punt hung up in the air forever, and then Vegas didn't really get any sort of bounce. It almost bounced straight up into the air, but Denver will still be pinned down inside their own 15-yard line at the 14, but they do get the first true stop of the game. First down to the 14-yard line. Struthers will start with a pass. We'll dump it out to Bailey O'Shaughnessy, who's been active in the receiving game so far tonight. That's his 3rd catch, but Vegas has been strong on the outside. 3 catches, 10 yards for Bailey, 2nd and 5.
And these uniforms, that's really fun. I'm still trying to figure out the system here on these number patterns, but it's a really fun look seeing that pink and blue lineup there for the Nightwings. That's a lot, really nice uniform set. I like that a lot.
Really unique. Huge shout out to Jeremy Vega for his work on that. Bailey O'Shaughnessy on the carry, gets caught behind a blocker, going to be just short. Nice job by Vegas's defense. No quit in him on that play either. 3rd and inches.
Yeah, Bailey O, when he gets the rock on the ground, has really been struggling, averaging under 2 yards per carry, up to this point. So, credit to the Vegas defense stepping up to the challenge so far.
That was Mike Jones again, and then on that play, the D-line blows it up. Osiris cleans it up, but I think that was Frank Stackhouse out on the edge that pushed, it was Stackhouse. Denver going to challenge. I don't know if they're going to win this, but Frank Stackhouse destroys the left tackle, and Bailey unable to get the first down, pending review as we take a retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. Get your SFL console at goretroid.com. Take a look at it.
My initial instinct on first watch was they marked it correctly. I didn't see him, from my eyes, get past the line of scrimmage.
Man, Osiris comes creeping around the corner, and it stands. Denver's charged with a timeout. Wow, what a stop for Vegas's defense. They continue to impress through 7 weeks of the season. Denver will have to punt it away unless they want to get crazy with it deep in their own territory. An exciting start so far, Hack. Not necessarily the start I was anticipating. As Bailey's
you
been
never
shut
know.
down.
Yeah, you never know what to expect, and that's one of the great things about the game. About these two teams is they take this rivalry very seriously. Man, that was a lower the shoulder. These teams, they want to win this game. It matters so much to the two franchises, to the two organizations, that they win this game every season. This means something to each team, regardless of kind of how their season may or may not end up. This is one game that they can kind of look back at, and if they win it, they feel like it's been a pretty successful season.
And Britton gets all the way up to the 39 on that punt return. So that'll set up a first down for Vegas. Derek Price under center at the 39-yard line. And in motion again, drains the play clock down to 6. They'll hand it off to Hubba on motion side left, and Hubba Kimbrell is dominating this game between the two backs so far. Over 10 yards of carry, still another first down for Vegas.
Yeah, it's that's what you expect. That's the kind of season that Kimbrell's been having. It's not gonna get you the long 70, 50, 60-yard runs. He's gonna get you 10, 11. And then a big run's going to be about 33. He's just a powerful back, and he's going to get a lot of carries. So Denver just has to weather that storm and try to keep him to short yardage and make Eric Price beat him with his arm.
First down, Hubba on the carry. This time Denver does a better job shutting it down. Dusty Kilbrew with the stop after a 4-yard pickup. This Denver defense has been overachieving this season. Robert Brady, Hugo Reynosa, Gerald Cumbus, and Brenda Puff on the line. Luis Quintana, Dusty Kilbrew, and Stefan Forge. Your linebackers, Kippa Jones, Nick Kindler, Luke Schreiner, Rosca Santagria, Lucas Tavore, and Strike Vader are your members of this secondary, as Hubba takes the handoff inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line for another Vegas first down.
And this is exactly what Vegas wants to do. This is their game plan working to perfection. You get a helmet on a helmet. Your lead blocker gives your running back room to spring and break to the left. So great blocking there in the middle by Brad Taylor Wright, and that springs that run for Hubba Kimbrell.
A couple of 44 fullbacks in this game. Brad Taylor Wright in his rookie season, the 17th pick of this team, so their first selection of season 21. And then, of course, Ari Mills, all 7 seasons with Denver, 2-time All-Star. Has been a great addition to the SFL. Hubba on another carry, wrapped up by Nick Kindler, a 3-yard pickup for Hubba. And, this is kind of, we've seen this out of some teams. I mean, it's great to run the football, but sometimes you shorten the game and keep Denver in it, even though Denver's getting gashed.
Yeah, and really the best case scenario here is just try to contain Kimbrell and just minimize the damage. Perfect job, perfect execution from Denver's defense there, minimizing that damage. So a 3rd and 3 for Eric Price. And again, I don't know that they're going to give Kimbrell the rock again in this 3rd and 3. They might want to try to save him when they get closer to the end zone. So I think it would be wise for the Fury to throw here. So Denver's got, in my opinion, got Las Vegas right where they want him.
Or maybe a Taylor Wright handoff here on 3rd and short. 35 seconds to go in the first. They'll give it back to Kimbrell, and Hubba's going to be short of the sticks. Wrapped up at the end of that play by Stefan Forge. 4th and 1 again.
And right into the teeth of the defense. I mean, Stefan Forge could make that play all day long. He was an early round selection in the draft, and you just ran at one of their better defenders.
Spicy. Vegas going for it. Leaves the field goal unit off the field. They want to stack the box against Denver and try and bully them for 1 yard. That's John Blades going in motion on 4th and 1. They get it off. It's Hubba, and it's short, and it's a turnover on downs. A stop in the backfield for the Nightwings. They do it again.
And it's just, that's Hugo Reynosa there off the edge and just making a dominant play. And that's just, again, right into the teeth of the defense. And I think that's what's going to have to happen. These front 7 of each team. The defense are going to have to control the line of scrimmage, and it's a huge play there for Denver. And I wonder here, up in the mountains, if the wind's swirling a little bit, and that's why the Fury elected to run the ball there on 4th down.
My bad, Hugo. Didn't have your new number as we at the end of the first quarter. Gene Struthers in some trouble. Gene Struthers off his back foot. Nearly intercepted. Oh, my gosh. What an effort from Anthony. Wow, he almost came up with it. What a crazy defensive quarter.
They might need to look at reworking him, maybe getting him into the slot on offense. That was almost an amazing catch, and the awareness and the body control to be able to get your head around and almost get 2 hands on it. That was quite an amazing play there for Mr. Wyo.
End of the first. Nightwings up 3-0. Vice Wars 14. And it is defensive out here after the first 10 minutes, along with Aaron Gooden and Justin Reside on stats. Chris Curtis and Tyler Falk back in studios. He's Stephen Hacker, and I'm Cameron Irvine for this Monday Night Spectacular. As Struthers drops to pass again. Osiris nearly got a hand on it. Mosley picks up 7. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 3. I remember earlier this season, Vegas was on Monday night against Vancouver, and their defense balled out in that game too. Just didn't have enough offense to get the W. Denver trying to show out here at home on their first Monday night game of the season. Third and 3 for Struthers. Vegas brings a blitz. That pass nearly picked off. Wyo again. Second pass deflection. Shuts the drive down. Another punt for Denver.
And the two teams, a nice opening drive, but since then, all defense. And again, I think that it's these coaching staffs have put in the work. They've watched what their opponents are going to do, and it's the execution's been very well defensively so far in this ball game.
So Denver will punt it away from the 30. Britton on the return up to the 35-yard line. So more decent field position out of Las Vegas. Price is 1 of 3 for 15 yards, and the only guy to make a catch was signed 2 weeks ago. Definitely wouldn't have predicted that to start this game.
Definitely not. Not when you have some pretty dangerous weapons there on the outside. Mason Kirby comes to mind. Doug Britton, another dangerous weapon for them. Prince Wonder at times can be explosive. So definitely interesting to see the lack of participation from the receiving corps.
Bubba, not much as Quintana shuts it down. His first solo tackle of the night, and I think Denver's caught on to what Vegas wants to be, and they're going to have to mix it up. Yeah,
if you can make just 2 good stops, you put Las Vegas in a really tough spot, having to convert that 3rd down. Especially if you can stop them with only a 1 or 2 yard gain.
Bubba again, Stephon Forge having himself a night. That's tough to do in the trenches, right, Hack? Just that wrap up open field tackle. Didn't need any help.
Well, but you need that. You need, again, Forge was an early round pick in the draft a few seasons ago, and he is somebody that he loves the contact. He's fully willing to go up there and sacrifice his body for his teammates.
Price picked off. That one cut off by Rosca Santagria. First down at the 43-yard line. Rosca jumps the route. First down, Denver.
And looked like was slightly beaten on that route, but used his great recovery to get in front of that ball and then take it away from the Fury. Yeah, see, let his receiver go, but then used that great recovery, got his head back around, and got his hands on the football, and now it's Denver going back the other way.
This Denver defense 13th in points allowed, 26.7. Vegas second in the league, giving up just 20.9, but it's been Denver's defense that has just been ferocious in the first 12 minutes of this one. Gene Struthers back to pass. He'll dump it off on a screen. Bailey O'Shaughnessy blockers out in front. O'Shaughnessy's got a first down. Nice play design after Vegas showed a lot of pressure on that last drive.
Yeah, and Denver just doing a little bit extra here now. They want to get Bullet Beletsky involved. They're going to find ways to get him involved, and you see that here now. The offensive coordinator opening up the playbook a little bit more, going with something just a little bit different. They can't quite get him going on the ground like they like to, so let's open up the passing game, get him out in the flats on a screen, and a big gain for the Nightwings.
First and 10, 8:15 to go in the first half. Denver's a 4.5-point dog in this one at home, despite both teams being 3 and 4. That pass caught by Mills, but quickly shut down. Osiris in there on the stop along with Itera. 57.5 is the over-under. That is very much in danger to start this one.
And I just want to give a huge shout out to number 50 there for Las Vegas, John Osiris. Somebody this season I relatively didn't know that well, but just through 3 or 4 weeks now, I'm very much familiar with that player. Mainly due to the fact that a couple weeks ago, Maurice Lloyd, their middle linebacker, went out, and Osiris absolutely balled out and has continued to make big plays for this defense throughout the season.
Mosley's pass intended for Mosley's knocked away. Guess who? Anthony Wyo. Man, he's having himself a night, 3rd and 9.
And something I know Wyo likes to do is go and put contact, go hit some other people, and got an opportunity to do it there, and just having an absolute ball game here in the first half.
3rd down and 9, 7:40 to go in the first half. 3-0 Denver on top of Las Vegas. Struthers to throw, dumps it off, another screen. Bailey O'Shaughnessy got a late block. O'Shaughnessy makes something out of nothing there. Andre Tucker nearly brought him down, the 98th pick in the draft. A lot of rookies on the field tonight as both these teams thought to be maybe in a rebuilding phase, Hack, but both teams have shown that they're not ready to do a total rebuild just yet. They have reloaded. Hudson James, another field goal coming up, 42 yards. Oh, he missed it. It drifts all the way to the right. I thought it was going in, but it just never got there, and Vegas holds.
And just kept slicing, and then eventually too much on it there, and that's unfortunate. Denver had an opportunity there to really put a lot more pressure onto Vegas, and unfortunately now their defense is going to have to come back out here, make another couple more good stops to get their offense the ball back.
Denver gets nothing off that interception, and Vegas stays within 3 points. First down at the 32-yard line, and Eric Price will mix things up on first down with a pass. That is hauled in to Doug Britton. First down after a pickup of about 12.
And Britton's something of a utility night for this team. Will return kicks, return punts. I'm sure he'd go out there and be the gunner for the special teams if you asked him to. A guy that's not afraid to get his hands dirty for this team, and a nice movement of the chains there for the Fury.
If you're new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sidelines and start your play today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the Join the Community button and begin your career, or just meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved. No gain on that run from Hubba. Dusty Kilbrew with the stop. That yards per carry, Hack, was 11 through 3 carries. Now it's been cut in half to 5.5. Price.
And he'll quickly do that.
Back to pass. Caught. Got up. Wasn't touched. First down and more. That's John Blades. So couple different guys with receptions on this drive, and this is the best Vegas' offense has looked tonight.
Yeah, and that is when they look their best. It's when they rely on Hubba Kimbrell to get them going, but then they let Eric Price move the chains and keep them going down the field. So it is a heavy dose of Hubba Kimbrell, but it really is the cherry on top to the offense is when they allow Eric Price to settle back with these third and manageables or these nice 1st and 10 passing situations, and they just kind of let him work. They don't ask too much from him, and so that's what they need to try to find that if they want to get going down the field.
Price nearly sacked, but that pass is hauled in by Blades. Another completion of over 10 yards, the 4th in a row for Eric Price to start this game, who nearly got ransacked 5 yards deep in the backfield.
Yeah, and it's a nice a split route there. You send one receiver on a post, the other on a corner, and you force the defenders to commit to a route, and a little bit of confusion there, and Blades is able to get open.
Vegas moving. Price now 4 for 7, 56 yards. Get Hubba back involved, and Hubba only able to pick up 2. Forge there again with the stop. 2nd and 8. .5:15 left in the first half. Low-scoring defensive affair so far here on the Monday Night Spectacular. As Price drops to throw. Price fires it. Nearly picked off. Nick Kindler had a shot at it. Looking down the field for Mason Kirby for the second time tonight. Shut down. 3rd and 8.
Yeah, Kindler definitely not somebody that you want to test. He can be a bit turnover happy if you try to throw his way. And I think Price is very fortunate that one didn't go to the Nightwings.
5:03 on the clock. Mason Kirby goes in motion. They're trying to get him involved. Kippa Jones runs with him. Price on the rollout to the right. And Price's pass is incomplete. He was dominant on rollouts last week against Arizona. Nick Kindler shuts it down. A field goal coming up for Vegas to try and tie the game from Matt Rage. 45.
And your best drive of the game, and you're looking at a 45-yard field goal. That's tough. It's tough sledding so far in this game for Las Vegas, for both teams, really.
Rage 8 of 9 this season, going the opposite direction, and Rage deals with the win just a little bit better. That kick is good. 4:55 to go in the first half, and we are knotted up at 3 here in Vice Wars 14. For all the league highlights, photo galleries, major and minor league stats and leaderboards, community content, and so much more, check out the league's website at simulationfl.net, presented by Football Shift. Stay up to date and explore our past, present, and future. 8 yards deep in the end zone. That is Dylan Lewis taking a knee. 4:54 to go in the half. Well, 2 teams at 3 and 4, fighting for a playoff spot. 4 and 4 get you in the mix for a playoff spot. 3 and 5 definitely puts you a little bit behind the 8 ball as Bailey O'Shaughnessy takes the handoff. Best carry of the night. Gets 10 before he is tackled and brought down. Here in the West Division, Hacker, it's still pretty wide open. Arizona on a 2-game losing streak. They're 5 and 3. So the winner of this game would just be 1 game back and leapfrog San Diego in a competitive division.
Yeah, and that's really, it has been a tough division, but the way these 2 teams are playing right now, whoever gets the win, if they can come out and string together a couple, they could find themselves contending for their spot in the division.
O'Shaughnessy hits Mosley over the middle. Nice blitz pickup from Denver's offensive line. Gains 1 to set up a 2nd down and 9. Struthers has been sacked 16 times this season. That's not good. But their offensive line's been pretty good tonight. I would not have guessed that he had been sacked that often. Eric Price has taken just 9 sacks, middle of the pack in the league. Struthers to throw. Dumps it off to O'Shaughnessy. There's nothing there. I gotta say, Hack, I've seen every team play 9 weeks in a row, and Vegas feels like they're the best outside the numbers of any team in the league right now. Maybe one of the best.
And, hard to fault them for feeling that way.
3rd and 9. 3:35 left. Keel going to go in motion. 3-by-1 becomes a 2-by-2 of sorts. Keel in the slot now. Struthers on 3rd and 9. Dumps it off to Bailey. That's the 2nd time we've seen the check down to Bailey on a 3rd and long, and it has not worked. That's Andre Tucker coming up to wrap up Bailey, and Denver's got a punt. Yeah,
not enough time, it seems like, on that play for it to develop. Had a blocker running downfield, but 2 defenders in the area, and blocker didn't have time to get to either one of them, and then Bailey had to make a move on 2 defenders and just couldn't quite do it. That's a big ask for your running back in that situation.
Punt is away, under 3 to go. Another fair catch call for by Vegas at the 30. They continue to win the field position battle, 2:56 to go in the second quarter. Liking the game so far? Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There is no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action and help the channel grow through your support. Counter to Hubba, running left. Hubba wrapped up by Forge in the open field once again, a 4-yard gain. This game's starting to feel like two old guys playing chess at the park, Hack.
Yeah, and it's I think both are and exactly that, stubborn and old, and very stick-to-itness. They're going to stick with what they like and what they want to do, and they're going to just wait for it to work. And again, here we go, another carry for Kimbrell, and they're just going to let them grind it out and see what's going to happen.
Hubba first down to the 45. Coming up on the APM Music Halftime Report, Tyler Falk, a.k.a. Flat Cap, and Chris Curtis, a.k.a. Ghost Host, have the Vice Wars 14 first half recap and analysis. Chris and Tyler break down the current playoff standings and who is not on the in the hunt list that should be. It's all coming up on the APM Music Halftime Report.
Do you know, are they themed, or did they prepare? Are they themed tonight, or is one of them wearing neon pink and the other neon blue?
No, they went the Vegas route and didn't dress for the occasion. 2 minutes to go, and after a 9-yard gain, that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Who's going to crack first? Vegas 3 and Denver 3. Vice Wars 14 here on the Monday Night Spectacular on SFL YouTube. Well, the one meeting in season 20, 27-24, Denver got the win. The one meeting in season 19, that was the SFL convention in Vegas. Vegas got the win 38-28. Not a whole lot of low scoring Vice Wars. The lowest scoring one was 23 points as Hubba is going to be short of the sticks. Another terrific stop by this Denver front. That's Quintana eventually getting the wrap up. Denver beat Vegas 17-6 back on August 7th, 2019, nearly exactly 4 years ago. That is your lowest scoring Vice Wars, 23 points. This one has 6 in the first half. Hubba's going to easily get this first down past the 40-yard line. Hubba Kimbrell breaks a tackle, going to get out of bounds to stop the clock and preserve the timeouts, and Vegas now in field goal range.
And doing what they need to do, and just continuing to trust that their game plan is solid. They like what they see. This is what they practice. This is how they've looked every game that I've watched them. They're going to grind you down. They're going to use number 20 to beat you. And just when they've had enough of number 20 getting some carries, then they're going to start sprinkling number 8. They're going to bring Eric Price into the fold and let him start cooking. So we'll see if Kimbrell is at that point where he needs a break or not here on 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line.
7 in the box for Denver. Mason Kirby goes in motion, still without a catch in the first half. Price back to throw. Doug Britton snags that one from nearly being an incomplete pass. Got just enough for the first down. Britton's second catch.
And Eric Price starting to roll the dice a little bit, bringing that Vegas flair with them here on the road, and not afraid to gamble. And you love to see that here, getting aggressive before the half, now inside the SFL red zone.
That could have been another Rosca pick, but Britton took it away. A little reverse action to Hubba Kimbrell, and Kimbrell is going to lose 3 yards. Vegas will take a timeout. They had 3 timeouts left, so I'm okay with doing something that may fake out the defense. Denver was ready.
Yeah, a little interesting there for me that, when I think of an end around, I think of speed, and Hubba Kimbrell is just not quite that. Maybe the offensive coordinator can maybe try to find a receiver in that spot next time.
Yep.
Might get a different result.
I agree with that. Price back to pass, dumps it off. Hubba 15-10 and got out of bounds. Saves a timeout, but it'll bring up 3rd and short.
Yeah, and just right where they want to be here. This is a very, very reasonable situation for them. Right within their game plan, right within their game script, right what they want to do. I think we're going to see number 20 get a carry right up the middle here, and this is feeling like a really good drive for Vegas. Price just needs to be smart. If they're going to try to throw the ball, he needs to protect it. But I don't see any reason for that. Go with Hubba Kimbrell here and get yourself a first down.
I mean, when you got 7 on the line compared to 4 on the line for Denver, you should win the battle most of the time. Play fake Price. That pass is caught at the 2-yard line by John Blades. Timeout for Vegas. They have 1 remaining. Another sneaky play in the red zone. Totally fooled everybody. Got a first down.
Yeah, 60,000 people here in the stadium or so. And every single one of them thought, including myself, thought that Hubba Kimbrell was about to get the ball there. Perfect time for a play action.
Ball on the 1 now. 1 timeout left for Vegas. Price throws, and it's deflected almost into the hands of an offensive lineman. Robert Brady with the pick. Now that would have been something.
And this feels a little strange, Cam. I mean, you're here at the 1-yard line. Your identity is ground and pound, and you're trying to throw the ball around. It's very, very interesting.
Well, and Hubba's not even on the field. Brad Taylor Wright is in the backfield. Which is bizarre for out of Vegas as Price goes in the end zone. Touchdown, what do we know? John Blades with the score. Price with his first touchdown of the night, and Vegas takes the lead just before the half.
But you know what that is? Something different. True. Something different against your rival. You pull out a new element, something that maybe they have not prepared for. It is a little different. It is a little what are they maybe doing right now? But they pulled it out of their back pocket, and that was a play action pass that worked to perfection that we really haven't seen much of from Vegas. And then a new formation and a pass to the back of the end zone, and it results in 6 points for the Fury.
Matt Rage coming on for the extra point. That is good. 10-3. Las Vegas leads Denver an 11-play, 69-yard, 2-minute and 5-second drive that started with a Britton punt return and ends with a John Blades wave to mother. 4 catches, 40 yards, and a score for Blades in the first half.
Yeah, Price getting a little more comfortable too. Started 1 of 3, now 7 of 13. And his yards per attempt still hovering around 6 yards. But again, that's what you want with your quarterback when they kind of struggle. You want to shorten the field a little bit. You let them get some completions, stack up some completions, and you start building up that confidence. And then what do you know? Finds John Blades back to the end zone. Now your team's ahead with a 7-point lead. Blades
now with 3 touchdowns this season leads all pass catchers. 3 of the 9 touchdowns for Eric Price going to Blades. Big surprise of the first half, Bailey O'Shaughnessy, 19 yards on 7 carries. Denver going to try and get aggressive. Gene Struthers down the field, wide open. Logan Keel to the 35. And I'm surprised they didn't burn a timeout right there. Maybe they'll see what they get on the next first down.
Yeah, no real urgency as Denver they're happy that they got to play. And wow, nobody around Logan Keel on that one. It was like they might have been thinking that they were just going to run it going to the half. So interesting to see, Denver not really going with any kind of hurry up here. They just kind of nonchalantly huddled back up and got back out now with 25 seconds remaining here in the half.
It's almost like they wanted to be sure that play would work. They hand it off to Bailey O'Shaughnessy. Can O'Shaughnessy get out of bounds? O'Shaughnessy to the 48-yard line. And, wow.
Still no timeout.
That is surprising. I think that's going to take us to the half.
Is the coach asleep? Sorry, that was mean.
Interesting. They try Hail Mary here. Yeah, they will try Hail Mary, but wow, just a little surprising out of Denver there. They hadn't moved the football with O'Shaughnessy much. He gets a 12-yard gain, best gain of the half. Logan Keel with the 31-yard catch the 19-yard catch was the longest completion of the half. And what do you do with it? Well, you chuck up a Hail Mary here. Denver down 10-3. Struthers going to make it happen. Struthers, deep shot is nearly intercepted by Max Jackson. Couldn't find anybody. And that is the end of the half. And Las Vegas has the momentum and has Denver's number. 10-3 is your score at the break. Your thoughts on the first half, Hack?
It wasn't quite what I expected. I mean, we got a healthy volume of rushes from Las Vegas, but Denver really couldn't get it going, and I don't think I was expecting that. I thought Bailey O'Shaughnessy would really come out here and answer the call, and we were going to see a grind fest between these two running backs, but we hadn't got that here today. Really, what we've gotten is Gene Struthers trying to put the Nightwings on his back to carry this offense and keep them going. And the Fury are just taking advantage. You sticking with their game plan, sprinkling in just enough to kind of keep Denver guessing at the right time, because Denver has responded to the traditional Fury offensive game plan fairly well. It's been a really close ball game. Both teams look prepared. They look ready to attack this ball game. But right now, scoreboard definitely reflects the way the game has gone. Las Vegas has done just enough in this one to secure the lead. I think in the second half, if Denver wants to find their way in this, they need to keep Struthers going. They need to keep that confidence with their quarterback, but they have got to find a way to get Bailey O'Shaughnessy going on the ground. 3.9 yards per carry, 8 attempts for only 31 yards. That's just not going to do it for this Nightwings offense that relies on Bailey O to get them going.
It's a slugfest. Let's go to Tyler Falk and Chris Curtis back at SFL Studios for the APM Music Halftime Report. Hack and I will come back for the second half after this.
And alongside Tyler Falk, who is, showing us the Ramblers towel. Nice, Ramblers flag, nice work. I am Chris Curtis. We are looking at a halftime score of 10-3 in favor of Las Vegas on the road in Vice Wars 14. Tyler, give us your thoughts how Vice Wars 14 has looked so far. It's been a defensive game, to say the least.
Very much so. A lot of running the football, old-timey school defensive plays, a lot of great defensive plays, let alone, I don't always get to look at deflections the way maybe a lot of people do it, especially tonight. We've seen a lot of great deflections just to deny passing opportunities for both quarterbacks here tonight, and that's why we see the ground game play so much of an impact where it has been able to. Hack brought up a great point where Denver's had now to get Bailey O'Shaughnessy involved more in the swing pass game more often than not to try and get some forward momentum going in that passing game, just to establish some sort of rhythm. Huge credit to both these teams of defenses, and it's a 10-3 ball game. Denver, for me, has looked like the better team tonight. However, Las Vegas in that 2-minute drive, I mean, all it takes is one drive to really set yourselves apart. Las Vegas was able to do that in the last 2 minutes.
At least in a single score game like this has been a majority of the night. So this has been every play matters seemingly in this game, for better or for worse, for each of these two teams. And I think we are far from done, all told. Good mix of run and pass as well. We've seen 30 total attempts through the air from both quarterbacks combined, 28 total rushing attempts from the running backs and fullbacks in this game. So it's been a little bit of a nice mix just with the two, and it's been fun to watch. You don't really know what you're going to see from snap to snap.
So it really just depends on what kind of adjustments these two teams make out coming into the second half. Does Denver, now down in a 7-point hole, be a lot more aggressive than they were to end the half? Or do they try and continue to play their game and continue to try and take up so much of this clock, whereas Vegas has actually done more of the same? Both game plans have been more conservative for the majority of the game. Of course, 2-minute drills, all that conservativeness for Las Vegas went out the window, and it proved, even though they were playing within the 15, 20-yard box for a lot of their play charts, they were able to really just divvy up and dissect that Denver defense, which is, even though it's young, this Denver team in general is young, but they have proven a lot of people throughout the last couple of weeks that they are here to play and can be a surprising factor in the SFL.
Any given Sunday, any given Saturday, any given Monday, in this case, for the Nightwings, they could definitely pull something off, and it may come down to who takes and accomplishes the first big shot in this game, something we really haven't seen somebody take a chance on offense. So it should be fun to see where it shakes out in the second half. We also look forward to the last quarter of the SFL regular season, and we bring up the playoff scenarios. For the first time, the playoff standings this week unveiled on the this week in the SFL earlier. Let's break those down a little bit, Tyler. I'm going to start off in the top 8 real quick, and I'll go quickly through them because I know we touched up base on them earlier in the show. Fort Worth, Florida, Alamo City, 1-2-3. Fort Worth remains your only unbeaten after the shellacking they put on Vancouver this last weekend. Seattle, number 4. They lead the Pacific Division. Baltimore and Arizona, 5-6. Louisiana and Canton, 7 and 8. Out of those 8, first and foremost, give me your surprise team, or if you don't have a surprise, that's fine too. Give me your thoughts.
I got 2 surprises for you, and to be honest, it's not Baltimore at 5-3. I expected them to have a few losses coming into this season as they tried and figure things out from the last generation to this new generation of football. But Seattle truly has to be a feel-good story. One of the newest teams in the SFL, really starting to kick things up a notch and get things going as far as establishing their brand and what they're all about on the field as well, taking to a few different teams and playing very, very high-tempo, high-quality football with a rookie quarterback. Louisiana, for me, it's right where they should be, is here in the playoff picture, is here in the top 12, and especially here in the top 8. Now they have a chance to really catch Florida, who slipped up for the first time against the bottom of that East Division, Atlanta, 7-1 for the Florida Storm. Louisiana now have a chance with a really dynamic backfield to really catch up matters here. The only other surprise team to me is the North Division, which really, for a lot of people, is a toss-up for whoever wins that division.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Canton at the tops of the North Division at the moment after a couple of wins against Queen City. Looking at it, looks like, first of all, I wanted to give you credit where credit's due, giving some love to your former team, or Mike Ryan's former team. Anyway, so that's super cool. In the wild card road, a little bit of a different tiered question for you. Do you see any surprises here, and do you see any of those teams moving down to under the line? And which team from under the line, also including the teams that are not on this list, move possibly into that wild card spot?
I gotta say one thing and only one thing only. Hey, Minnesota, objects in mirror are closer than they appear, my friends. So, take them down once. We'll be able to march back forward. We got now back half of our schedule. 4 more games to go for us. Minnesota's got 5 more. But honestly, if you're going to come into our place and have a couple of special teams miscues, we'll take full advantage of that and come out with a victory. Now, it's an uphill climb for us. It's an uphill climb for everybody in that Central Division, but now it's super, super tight. The way things stand, everyone could end up being under 500, and we could see our first under 500 divisional winner in SFL history, which would be a shock to many, especially from those inside and outside the Central Division, and how crazy it's been. Minnesota at the beginning of the season looked like the team to watch, a team to be on top, in the top 4 even, and now they're below 500. It just goes to show you the ebbs and flows of what can happen throughout the course of a very long season. 12 games doesn't seem like a long time, but just ask Minnesota, just ask Indianapolis, just ask LA. It's just where they have come. A lot of 3 and 4 teams looking to get their way into the playoff picture.
One of note too, we could have actually 2 division winners that are under 500. The way the North is shaking out as well, Canton at 4-4, they're only 1 loss away from getting that under 500 moniker as well, but they lead a weakened North Division. You mentioned LA, gotta note them, the highest SOV in the playoff picture right now. They are sitting pretty if they end up in a tie at record for against a lot of these teams. So that should be something that we keep an eye on, and some notable teams that have made the playoffs consecutively. One of them, my own Vancouver, not on the under the line list, sitting at 3-4. They have some work to do, no doubt about that. We have some work to do, no doubt about that. And then you take a look at some that really I mean, again, new era, new game and all that, but you take a look at Houston. Houston, one of the surprises, they keep winning games, quote, they're not supposed to win, end quote, and keeping themselves in the hunt for a playoff spot. Carolina in that same boat. So a lot of really good teams. And there's really a level of uncertainty that we go into the latter half of this season with, Tyler. And I want to touch base on that real quick before we head back to the game. There's really no clear choice for who could win the title this season. I mean, there's a number of teams that have really good records, but really any team can put a game together when it's needed most. And you could probably look at 8 to 10 teams that have a realistic shot at making noise in the playoffs.
I think that's what makes this season so much fun to watch. It's like you're going to a derby track and watching a horse race. You don't know very much about the horses, but you just got to pick one and hope it does well. And that's exactly what every single team is hoping their team does. And we could see some crazy, quote unquote, upsets that aren't, true upsets, but based on past history, past reputations, we could see a team like Seattle, a team like Canton, even a team that finishes below 500 to end the season. They could very well win it all if they put it together in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, most teams have 5 games left in this season. A couple have 4, a couple have 6, I believe, but still a lot of time left to determine what is going to happen the rest of this season. So we are set and ready to go for the second half in Vice Wars 14. Vegas has a 10-3 score line lead on the road, and we will head back to Cameron Irvine and Stephen Hacker on the other side. For Tyler Falco and Chris Curtis, this has been the APM Music Halftime Report.
Thank you, Curtis. Back for the start of the second half of Vice Wars 14, along with Stephen Hacker. I'm Cameron Irvine, Justin Reside, and Aaron Gooden on stats for us tonight. Hack, how are the concession stands here at Richard L?
They said that they put some kind of special sauce on top of their funnel cake, and I definitely don't know where I am right now.
Oh, no. Hacker down. Hacker down. 1st and 10 of the 20. We'll try and survive the second half. Brad Taylor Wright, who did not have a single carry in the first half, gets a carry to start the second half. You just never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, and see, there's more confusion for me. I'm over here trying to get my bearings, and they're going to start the half off with a run to the fullback. But, again, I think I like it from Vegas, trying to start off with something new and something creative.
Price gives it off to Hubba, and Hubba will pick up a solid 4 yards, dragging a defender to the 29-yard line. 3rd and 1 coming up for Vegas. In that first half, Vegas led 193 to 114 in total yards. Had 11 first downs to Denver's 7. Both teams struggled on third down, surprisingly. They're top 10, both of them in the league, as Hubba gets one there. Vegas now 3 for 7 on third down tonight. Denver just 1 of 6 in that first half.
Yeah, very strange. These two teams normally get ahead of the sticks very well, mainly due to their stud running backs. And it's been a different ball game, different type of game. It's really been a test for these two teams it's testing their mettle, kind of see how deep into their playbooks they can go.
Price's pass is caught by Britton for a first down. That tops Vegas over the 200-yard mark. Doug Britton's 3rd catch of the evening.
And again, something simple, and you really like to see that. You put your receiver going across the middle, you get the zone coverage, and right whenever the defensive back cuts loose, that creates a soft opening there, and Eric Price delivers right on the money.
Price 8 of 14 for 87 yards. Nothing flashy. Longest pass of the night has been 15. But making it happen. Hand off Hubba, up the gut. Hubba picks up 7. Vegas is up front blocking, making things look much easier than Denver's made it look tonight. Second down and 3. Pitch. Wow, great block. Brad Taylor, right, the rookie. Then Hubba with a shoulder charge down to the Denver 31-yard line. Terrific execution by Las Vegas for a first down.
And you love to see when a game plan just comes together. This is what they want. They want to grind you up, and they get the helmet on the helmet, and it's a thing of beauty, as you said. It's when you get the blocking like that, and you get your playmaker out in space, and then they deliver with the highlight play and deliver the shoulder charge. It's poetry in motion.
Strike Vader totally blown up at the line of scrimmage there. Price back to pass on first down. Caught Mason Kirby. First catch on 3 targets. There is an injured player, and it is Mason. Mason's their clutch guy, Hack, late in games. That's the guy they go to. That could be a devastating injury.
Yeah, and made a really tough play. Looked like he got wrapped up a little bit when he got brought down, and hopefully Kirby's able to get back out there. We'll hopefully get an injury update very, very soon on Mason Kirby.
He does walk off under his own power. 2nd and 2 coming up for Vegas. There's Price's updated numbers. Now over 100 yards, 10 of 16 for 102. 2nd and 2 at the 24. Hand off Hubba. Hubba's got a first down inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line. Eric Price's season high is 230 passing yards. Believe it or not, that came against LA in week 1 when Hubba went nuts. But Price with 230 in that game. But 4 out of the last 5 games, he has been over 200 yards passing on the day. Handoff to Kimbrell, and Kimbrell inside the 12, Kimbrell inside the 10, and Kimbrell fighting for a first down. Man, he's running hard tonight.
Yeah, and it's when your running back is able to shoulder the load in the way that Hubba Kimbrell has for the Fury, Eric Price doesn't need to throw for 250 yards a game. 200 yards is about right. What the most critical thing for Eric Price is to protect the football. You want to get your completions when you can, but you do not want to give it away to the other team. And we'll see how if they can incorporate that here inside the red zone.
2nd and 2. Look at the lane for Hubba to run through. It was 5 yards separating him and anybody else. 1st and goal. Look at that.
And again, it's double seal there on the edge on the defensive end, and then Brad Taylor Wright goes to the second level, finds that linebacker, and again they're just gashing the Nightwings here in the second half. It was a great start to this opening drive of the second half.
1st and goal. Handoff, Hubba, got it. Wow, touchdown Vegas. They come out in the 3rd quarter and just rack it up. 10 plays over, or nearly 80 yards on the drive. That was just pure dominance.
Yeah, and it started with a simple fullback dive, and you finish it off with a bulldozing touchdown run from Hubba Kimbrell, and that's what this offense, they feed on these kinds of drives. They don't want the quick points. They want to get Hubba Kimbrell on the field. They want to get their offensive line moving. They want to get their fullback going, and they want to punish you a little bit. They don't get any pleasure out of just a quick score. They want to grind you down, and they want to watch your face as they cross the goal line. And Hubba Kimbrell just did it on that drive.
A credit to Vegas. They come into this season, of course. They've been for a long time sling it down the field. We don't care if we throw 6 picks because we're going to force 6 turnovers on you. Just kind of a huck it and chuck it offense that gave them some success over the years, but we've seen them kind of totally reinvent themselves surprisingly, right, with Hubba in the backfield. And I think it started with that week 1 performance against LA, Steven, because I don't know that necessarily that Vegas was kind of looking to be that team, but once they had some early season success with it, they've stuck with it, and it's become their new identity.
And sometimes that's what you do as a coaching staff, right? You may be stagnant. You may not be where you want to be as a team, so you might try something a little new, a little different. and then realize you've been overlooking something, a dangerous weapon. And I think that that's exactly, as you pointed out, it's exactly what happened for Las Vegas, because as you stated, their history says that, yeah, they were a risky, they're a gamble team. They want to roll the dice, but this season they seem to have found something that works in Hubba Kimbrell.
Jeremy Mosley with the catch for the Denver first down. Mosley's 4th catch of the night, but that was by far his longest run route of the evening. Struthers is up over 100 yards, and Denver's offense is off to a hot start in the third quarter.
Yeah, and really keeping Struthers confident and locked into this game, I think, is really what's going to keep what's going to get Denver past midfield into scoring position.
Quirky looking line here from Vegas. They actually send the defensive end out, and pass coverage nearly intercepted. I was looking at who was that on the outside? It was Anthony Stover, and I'm thinking, why is he lined like that? And sure enough, he went out to defend a flat 2nd down.
Yeah, maybe a good play design, play scheme. Maybe Vegas saw that Denver was trying to run some screens and maybe thought that, maybe anticipating a screen there.
2nd and 10, 5:48 to go in the third quarter as Struthers drops to pass, has to get rid of it. Struthers deep down the field, incomplete, looking for Mosley. It is so hard to get completions. Oh, Mosley's down. That is a loss for Denver. Back-to-back drives, we've seen receivers go down and stay down. He's their leading receiver tonight.
Yeah, that's a big loss for Denver if he cannot come back into this field or into this ball game. Is, their offense is really needing something, and in this game it's been the passing attack that's worked the best for them. So to lose a receiver, not what you want to see if you're a Nightwing fan.
3rd and 10. Denver is 1 for 6 on 3rd down. They got a couple tight ends, Keith Wheeler and Chris Arthur, that have made some plays this season, but they do not have any targets so far tonight. 3rd down and 10. Struthers stepping back, floats it deep into double coverage, incomplete. Dylan Lewis couldn't get open, and the drive ends in a whimper for Denver.
Yeah, man, that is not what you wanted to start this half. Is, Vegas comes out looking sharp, puts more points on the board, and you come out and very quickly give the ball back to their offense, and you know the defense is expecting more Hubba Kimbrell, so they need to be hyping themselves up on the sideline. They need a 3 and out, and they need to get the ball back to their home team offenses. Very quickly, Las Vegas can get away from Denver if they're not careful.
Oh man, and Britton all the way up to the 30 gets Vegas more great starting field position, and now Strike Vader is hurt for Denver on special teams.
And get these guys some oxygen or something. I think the altitude is doing something to these guys on the field. Maybe it's their stamina or something, but that's a lot of injuries happening in a really short time span.
So just when Vegas' offense about to come back out on the field, Vader gets hurt. Vader is their only starting strong safety, so that could really open some things up for Vegas. That is a huge loss for a Denver secondary that is slim at safety. 5:28 to go in the third. Blades goes in motion for Vegas. Starting to roll here in the third quarter. Hand off to Kimbrell. Hubba Kimbrell will fight for 4 yards. Friday, September 29th, before SFL Week 10 action kicks off, we'll be live from SFL Studios to announce the team lineup for SFLM Season 8 and prepare for group play with a random shuffling of franchises setting the stage for the season to come. Join us at 7 p.m. Eastern, live on SFL YouTube, Friday, September 29th. That's this Friday, coming up at the end of the week. Brad Taylor Wright taking his time. Now out into the flat. Hand off Kimbrell, right up the gut, and Kimbrell near a first down to set up a 3rd and short. Vegas lived in 3rd and long against Arizona. They have hardly had any tonight.
Yeah, and just finding ways, really challenging the front seven of the Nightwing defense, and it's been good execution from the blocking up front, and Kimbrell can eat in those kinds of situations. When you give him 3 or 4 yards and a head start, he's going to work on you.
Ooh, Kimbrell took a shot there. That was a brutal hit from Kippa Jones. His first unofficial tackle of the night. Forge and Quintana have been doing the bulk of the work, a combined 9 solo and 8 assisted tackles for that bunch. Hubba is draining Denver right now. Kimbrel again, and Forge pops him. That was the, when you talk about plays in this game, that was the 50th play for Vegas compared to 36 for Denver. 51 now for LV.
And that last hit from Stephon Forge is more of what they're going to need. They're going to need to really start stepping up. Even though they're tired, they're going to really need to start delivering some big shots to Kimbrel to try to slow him down.
Price, pass caught. Doug Britton with a stiff arm, and Britton gets inside the 30, down to the 29-yard line. Britton's 4th catch of the night. Vegas punishing Denver right now.
And it is all going right for the Fury, and I think Denver can, what they need the most is a turnover. And they are just not anywhere near these receivers when they run their routes. I mean, it's clear passing lanes for Eric Price to find his targets. So, Denver really needs to find a way to get back in front of these receivers and try to take away something, because Vegas is right back in scoring position now.
And that was Vader's replacement out there, who got totally rocked by Britton. You wonder if Strike would have come down with that tackle. Eric Price now on first down, going to throw it again. Caught. First down to Jacob Morrison on his 2nd target. Morrison had a great game against Arizona last week, came up in the clutch, and another second-half catch for Morrison.
Yeah, and that's what you want to do when you're a young receiver in the SFL. You want to build on last week's performance, right? If you've built a rapport with your quarterback, he's looking your way, and you get that target, you better catch it, because you're going to double your output next week whenever he looks your way again. So great job from Morrison, keeping the reception in his hands.
Price, deep, almost caught, wow. And Kirby's back in the game, and man, took another serious shot. He's kind of woozy there after that play. Looking at Jacob Morrison, 4 catches, 67 yards last week. That was a season high. Had 114 yards and a touchdown in his last SFLM game before getting drafted. 2nd and 10. Off the incompletion. Price going to drop back, throw again. That pass is picked off, and it's Santa Grant. No, it's DeVore on the return all the way out to the 25-yard line. Lucas DeVore nearly went to the house, and he saves the game for Denver.
Keeps them in the ball game, and I mean, a little bit of questionable decision making or play calling there from the Fury in the red zone. Your running game is working like clockwork, and you like to go with the pass heavy outlook inside the red zone, and Denver capitalized. That's the 2nd interception now, and for their defense, and that's what's hurting Las Vegas. I mean, they've got a 14-point lead, but if anything's going to bite them, it's these turnovers, because you can't always say that your defense is going to hold the team to no touchdowns. So Denver's got weapons like Bailey O'Shaughnessy. It's only a matter of time before they're able to figure something out offensively.
Struthers caught by Keel. I think Mosley's still out. Logan Keel with his 3rd catch of the game picks up a first down. Bailey O'Shaughnessy tonight, 8 carries, 31 yards. It's not like he's been super effective when they've given him the ball on the ground, but can't totally abandon it either. That was almost picked.
Yeah, it really seems like it's just the timing of some of these carries for O'Shaughnessy is what's eliminating him kind of from the game script. Is it just seems like he gets a first down carry and just doesn't go anywhere, and then they start looking to get him involved in the screen game, and it's just resulted in some odd drives for the Nightwings.
Keel goes in motion. Max Jackson follows him over there, far side left in the slot. Struthers against a blitz. They dump it off short. That is a great read from Gene. Keel with another catch for 7.
So I think this is a really, really positive situation for Denver. I mean, 2nd and 3, you've got 2 opportunities here to give it to your best player on the field. That's number 30, and see if he can convert something here for you near midfield.
2nd down and 3. Look at Vegas in the box. 9 in the box with 2 safeties high. Toss to Bailey O'Shaughnessy, and they run all at him. They are just ready for it all night long. Wyo with the TFL 3rd and 5.
And just answering the call all game long. I mean, this is one of the SFL's best here in the backfield for the Nightwings, and just the Fury are all over it. It's been absolutely astonishing to watch.
3rd and 5. Can Struthers bail him out again? 16 for 23 tonight. Struthers outside, overthrew. Logan Keel, and the Fury defense does it again.
Man, just
gosh.
here on the road, coming in here playing just lights out football. This is a great game plan from the Fury, and it's just working on both sides of the ball for them. The X's and O's are lining up perfectly for them.
Bailey O'Shaughnessy averages 187 rushing yards per game and 6 yards a carry. What a punt! All the way down to the 3, and it's going to roll to a stop. Are you kidding me? That is a tremendous kick, and Vegas will start their own territory. That was a boomer.
There was one good thing about that drive for Denver. It was the punt. And, you've made it really difficult now for Las Vegas. I mean, and now it's. I think you got to try to put some pressure on here, Cam. I would try to blitz, do something different, get Eric Price on his toes.
Price hands it off to Kimbrell, and Hubba Kimbrell going to get him out of danger. That's been the problem. You pin him back deep, but Kimbrell's getting 6-7 yards a pop. Anyway, back to Bailey. 187 yards, rushing yards per game, 6 yards a carry. 28 tonight on 9 carries, 3.1. They've not only sliced him in half, but they've nearly completely removed him from the game plan. 2nd down and 3, 20 seconds to go in the 3rd. That's tough to do against a guy of Bailey's caliber. Now, Hubba Kimbrell behind some blocking, but Denver all over it will force a 3rd and a long one at the end of, or at the start of the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and that's what they needed. They needed to try and stop them there and make them earn this first down going into the 4th quarter.
End of the 3rd, Vegas up 17-3. Their defense suffocating tonight in Vice Wars 14. But we still got a good ball game here in the 4th. Curtis, look alive!
Presentation of the Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Start of the 4th quarter. Stephen Hacker, Cameron Irvine with you. Justin Reside, Aaron Gooden on stats. Tyler Falk, Chris Curtis back in our SFL studios. 17-3. Vegas with the lead. 3rd and 1. Another 3rd and short for LV. 2 for 3 on 3rd downs in the 2nd half. 3rd and 1. Hubba got it and abuse. Luis Quintana on his way to another 1st down. He's got 200.
And Vegas is just working their way towards a get right. It's been a little bit of a struggle for them this season, trying to find their identity. But it seems like the last couple of weeks they've really figured it out and are really onto something, really moving forward at a nice clip here, grinding this game out, doing exactly what they need to do. And they've got their superstar, right? Number 20 right there, Hubba Kimbrell, is somebody that they can really build this team around. You've already got some great legendary pieces on the defensive side. And you've got a great weapon, Mason Kirby, on the offense, and some young players that want to earn their name, right? So when you've got a young running back ready to carry the load for you, it lets your other star players kind of develop and grow around your franchise.
Hubba 1st down. Hubba Kimbrell's 4th 200-yard game this season, but more alarming than the yardage is just how many times he gets the ball. Now, it's worth noting, Eric Price is 11 for 19. It's not like they haven't thrown the ball tonight, and it's been when they've thrown, Hacker, that's had Denver a little disjointed because it's so unexpected. But Hubba 3 times this season already of over 40 carries in a game. He's got 38, now 39 in this one, and more than any other player in the league. We talked about how he leads the league in carries. He just grinds out defenses. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and when you think that the stamina might be coming into account or something, they find a way to use their fullback Brad Taylor right, or they find other creative ways. So it's really fun to see them give him all the carries that, you're our piece. You're what's going to win us a ball game, right? They commit to it every week, and it's really fun to see that. And it's just, you wonder if what happens if he's removed from the game or when he gets tired. But it's been really fun to watch them grow and progress through that, because nobody expected Hubba Kimbrell to be one of the top running backs in the league before the season.
3rd and 4. Can Price do it again? Eric Price is sacked. We haven't seen a sack all night. Hugo Reynoso with the takedown, and Denver's defense gives their offense another shot.
Yeah, and a Euro step after the end as a celebration, as Reynoso showing off the agility. And it's a matter of time. A player of that caliber, of that much talent, working his tail off all game long. He's going to get there, get home, and get the sack for the home team.
I think for Vegas, anytime you rely that much, we've seen it in the SFL for years. When you rely that much on one guy, what happens if he gets hurt? They got no backup running back. I just don't know what that looks like. And when you're talking about, needing to win 3 or 4 playoff games in a row to win a championship, it's a pretty big risk. There's a lot of pressure on one man's shoulders.
Yeah, speaking from experience in the last season semifinal game, your star running back goes down, and you maybe don't have the depth on the depth chart that maybe some other of your opponents might have, or that you may desire, and all of a sudden your game script becomes terribly uneven, and you don't like that. So that's why we like to try to find balance. We don't want to be too heavily reliant on one star player. We try to seek the balance and try to put all of our star players, or all of our players, in a position to make plays to help our team get down the field and win ball games.
Struthers 16 of 24, but for only 113 yards. They try to pitch it to O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy has plenty of juice left, past the 45 to near midfield. Max Jackson shoves him out of bounds. Longest run of the night for Bailey O, and his longest run since the end of the first half that ended in nothing.
Yeah, and you see they're finally getting some of the broken tackles, as the Fury have done a really good job, especially their defensive backs, of getting there and putting maybe not dragging the ball carrier down, but getting extra bodies there, slowing Bailey O down, and that's what it takes. Slow him down. Let's get the help over here and drag down the ball carrier, but not that time. Bailey O with an extra juice, extra wind, able to get a couple extra yards out of it.
It's Dylan Lewis still in for Jeremy Mosley at the top of the screen. They'll hand it off to O'Shaughnessy, and O'Shaughnessy will pick up a solid 6 yards. Denver does not need to hurry or panic. There's still 7 minutes left in this game, but you don't necessarily want to take the clock down to 4 or 3 minutes. You definitely want to score sometime in the next couple of minutes here.
Yeah, you'd like to be giving the ball back to Las Vegas with points on the board, and maybe about 4 minutes left, 4.5 minutes left, and that leaves you a fighting chance if your defense can get a stop.
Bailey O'Shaughnessy, nothing. A combo tackle stop by Mike Jones, who's had an underrated performance tonight, and then Maurice Lloyd also there. 3rd and 2.
Just absolutely nothing has been working for Denver, even in these 3rd and 2s. Maybe Ari Mills might be a nice option for him here.
Bailey just got it, but Max Jackson there. Okay, so now if you're Denver, you really got to pick up some sense of urgency here. They are stringing together some first downs. A field goal's not going to cut it, and but I understand they're trying to get some confidence of Bailey O. They're trying to get some play action going by establishing that run. 5:50 left in the 4th, coming in way under the under here. And Vegas definitely covering tonight. Dylan Lewis goes in motion. Followed across the formation by Merrick Itera. Gene to throw. Gene, clean pocket. Oh my goodness! Wyo again! He skied for that ball.
This is unbelievable. It's the coverage on the outside all night from the Fury has been really good. Only a couple times in this ball game have the Denver receivers really had room to breathe, and that's four really spectacular plays from Anthony Wyo in this ball game.
Man, he may be He may be MVP if he keeps playing like this. Struthers dumps it off. Bailey O'Shaughnessy loses a yard. Merrick Itera on the stop. They are just relentless tonight.
I think the Denver coaching staff, I mean, just watching this game progress, I think this has been a good test for them. I think that they've won some games this season that were really close and really good battles for them. But Las Vegas is kind of one of those teams that's right there on the cusp. They're viewed as a playoff team this season, and this has been a good test for Denver. This is like a recalibration game almost for Denver, where they can kind of look at this, and this is like a measuring stick. Like, okay, can we go out? Can we compete? Can we how do we look against a team that's trying to push their way into the playoffs? And so far in this one, I mean, Las Vegas has looked like the better team in this one. Defensively, coming out making some nice plays, and offensively, their game plan has just worked as the game has gone on. Vegas is really grinding down Denver here.
They just unbelievably shanked that punt. Fortunately, Denver got a decent bounce to the 15. That was brutal. The punt went like 12 yards into the air. Oh my gosh, Denver does not have a star punter on this roster, and I don't blame him for punting. I mean, it's 4th and 11. Denver has been dreadful on 3rd and long and all night long. I mean, the offense has been too rudimentary, trying to get Bailey O'Shaughnessy out in space. Their longest pass of the night is 19 yards. And this Vegas defense, I mean, just totally suffocating. Maybe the best defensive performance I've seen all season. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line, and now Vegas is a few first downs away from just killing this thing. Hubba on the carry, and Hubba will pick up 6.
Yeah, that Portland ACA matchup was a pretty good defensive game plan from Portland as well, but this one definitely rivaling it.
Yeah, that's true.
Getting defenders right where they need to be in space. Definitely has picked up on some of Denver's tendencies and where they like to try to attack the field. And Vegas has bodies in those positions pretty much on every given play. So, but yeah, perfect defensive game plan in this one from the Fury.
2nd and 4. Hubba, first down. Looking back on Vegas's last 3 games, take out the Portland game, they lost 35-29. Actually, you can keep that in because Scott Johnson had that kick return. They have held every opponent this season under 30. You know how difficult that is to do? All 8 under 30 in their last 4 games. 17-3 here tonight, 24-21, 24-14, and 27-17. They just built different. They just play a different style of game than any other team in the league right now.
Yeah, and I've been on a couple of their games production wise, and they really do. They kind of approach things from a different way. And what's really fun about not only the offense being different, but it's some of the stuff that they do defensively that I really admire. I really like their defensive backs. I think that they've got some studs there. But there's players, in their front 7 that through the last couple of weeks I've really begun to like. Again, number 50, John Osiris, being one of those players that I didn't really know a whole lot about. Whenever I think about the defense for the Fury outside of the defensive backs, I always think of Maurice Lloyd. But John Osiris is a name that I'm very, very quickly getting familiar with, and a player that I'm going to continue to watch in seasons to come.
And off to Hubba, he is short of the first down. Third and 1. This is Denver's chance.
Denver definitely winning the uniform game in this one. Big shout out to their staff for putting that together, really embracing the rivalry. I can't say enough good things about the ownership group here in Denver. Jeremy Vega is a great dude, previous championship winner, somebody that I had a lot of have a lot of respect for in this league. I really like the way he does business. Really appreciate the way he conducts himself.
3rd and 1. Vegas can almost ice it at this point. It'll be the last snap before the 2-minute warning. Handoff, Hubba didn't get it. Stephon Forch, and Denver's still alive. I mean, you're not going to die in Vice Wars, never.
You need that big return game. They need something. They need a spark. I mean, their only points came on the opening drive, and it's been stagnant since. I mean, they really, really need something big here, and what better time to have a punt return in Vice Sports.
Vegas's last 4 games, Tulsa, Minnesota, Indy, and Arizona, who they've already beaten this season. Very interesting to watch the 4-4 Fury down the stretch, unless Denver's got something up their sleeve. In the final 2 minutes, you're watching the Monday Night Spectacular, presented by APM Music on SFL YouTube. All right, now or never from Denver. Going to have a chance to, wow, McRack booms it all the way to the 20 and puts Denver back inside the 30. That's the difference between an all-star punter and a punter we've never heard of. Man.
Yeah, and that was that's flipping the field. You know, that's giving your defense a little bit of breathing room. Now you've got your defense and the clock to your advantage here, and the field for that matter. So Vegas just needs to keep the offense in front of them, and they can reasonably wrap this game up.
Struthers
they blitz.
Dumps it off the keel. Go ahead.
Well, I just thought it was funny. You know, need to keep the offense in front of you. And Vegas sends a blitz on first down. Just kind of interesting. You know, shows what I know, I guess.
Well, they don't care. I mean, they every time tonight that we thought they were going to zig, they've zagged every time, and it's worked. That was wild. Let's see what they do here on 2nd and short. They did just blitz a whole bunch of people. 2nd and short. Struthers got to get something going to the sideline. That pass is deflected by a big old lineman, Anthony Stover, who went out in pass coverage earlier in this game, and now it's 3rd and inches.
Maybe I'm just not keeping up with this stat enough, but when I was digging through doing some research for the pregame, I had noticed there was like 3 pass deflections from the defensive line in different games, but 3 different pass deflections from defensive linemen. I wonder if that's going to become more of a thing as we develop, our players through the seasons.
3rd and short. Struthers passes at the feet of Logan Keel. Actually, more specifically, Anthony Weil. If it hits his foot, does he get another pass deflection? Is that a thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we give credit for hacky sack or not out here, but I mean, just for the game that he's having, I would give it to him anyways.
4th and inches. Can Denver even get a first down on this drive? 1:39 to go in the 4th. Keel goes in motion. Denver's next 4: Vancouver, Seattle, Arizona, San Diego. Wow. 4th and inches. 8 on the play clock for Struthers. 18 of 30 tonight. Struthers dumps it off. Nice throw. O'Shaughnessy got a first down and out of bounds. That may have been the best play call of the night. Resets things for Denver.
Something went right for him. It's been so long, it feels like, since Denver's had something positive offensively, and so it's great to see that. But now again, we're right back up against it. Looking up at the game clock, minute 35. You really got to cover some ground very quickly here.
1:35 left in the 4th. Ball at the 41 of Denver. Still got a chance. Have some timeouts. Cover an onside kick, get a touchdown. You just never know in the SFL. They've done enough to keep themselves in it. Struthers down the field, deflected again. Maurice Lloyd, the linebacker, with the PD.
And Wyo was primed. He was there ready to make a play, but Maurice Lloyd said, "You've had your name called enough tonight. Let me get over here and make a play. I'm supposed to be the captain of this defense." And she got up there and made a play for the D.
Ari Mills, nothing on the stat line tonight. It's surprising. We mentioned the tight ends earlier, not a single target. It's been Keel and Mosley dominating, but since Mosley's gone out, it's just been Keel. That pass is incomplete. 3rd down and 10. That may have bounced off the hands of Logan. But I tell you, Hack, I don't think there's many matchups Denver can win out there right now with this elite Vegas secondary. It's just, wow. 3rd and long.
Yeah, very tough. And again, that's where that element of Ari Mills, that's where Denver used to. They would find creative ways to get Ari Mills going in this kind of matchup whenever they hardly ever invest heavily in their wide receivers. They don't go after the big, they don't break the bank for wide receivers. They try to spend it elsewhere. And so there's times that they would get Ari Mills involved as a creative layer for their offense, and that hasn't been here tonight.
Denver lucky. They run again on 3rd and 10. It's like their only play on 3rd and long. They got to clean that up. But Bailey essentially bails them out. 10 catches for 47 yards tonight, nearly as many receiving yards as rushing yards. 100 yards from scrimmage from Bailey, way under his average. 1:22 left, but it does stop the clock. Bailey does a nice job getting out of bounds. Here we go, empty 5 wide for Denver. Still in this thing.
Watch 82 in the slot, yeah.
Yeah, Keel's got to be getting tired. He's been in motion like 15 times tonight. Logan Keel has been the man since Mosley's injury. 5 catches, 59 yards. Deep shot is caught at the 29-yard line. Didn't get a number on it. I think that may have been Dylan Lewis's first grab of the night. Timeout, Denver, 1 left.
Yeah, and good job. You bring the 3 wide receivers over there. You try to overload the defensive backfield.
Mosley's back in the game.
And then you send 2 to the sideline, 1 down the seam, and Struthers finds the receiver running down the seam.
That'll help Denver. Ball at the Vegas 28. Still alive. 3-step drop, dumps it off Keel. Keel would have had blockers up for that. Almost kind of looked like a little screen play. Keel would have had blockers if the pass was on target. Now Denver's out of timeouts.
Yeah, just a little too low, and Keel had to kind of squat down and then redirect, and that was enough to slow him down and allow the Fury defenders to get there and drag him down.
Man, Denver. That's what when you're a running team, that's what happens. We see it time and time again. You keep teams in the game by shortening the game, and it's picked off. Forget about it. Going back all the way. It's Justin Reside in the truck and in. No, he's going to get called. Shaughnessy puts him down at the 11. I was going to say he's in the end zone too. That is game, set, match. What a performance from Las Vegas's defense.
Game-sealing interception from the stud, Justin Reside. Never going to hear the end of it in the game channel, though. You got to finish those plays off, big fella. You're going to get memed so hard in chat after this game, buddy. I'm sorry, it's coming, dude. You're going to get grilled so good, but fantastic play, and just the Fury are all over this thing, man. It's been a pleasure to watch this thing as they really started to figure things out. I really like this young running back, Hubba Kimbrell in his first season as the starter, has really taken and evolved this offense into something new and something fun.
Bailey O'Shaughnessy, you got to give it to him. It was a really tough night for him, but that was some impressive hustle to avoid having the score get any worse, avoid having a pick 6 on his quarterback's resume. It was the first turnover of the night for Denver. Their offense is shut out in the second half. They finished with 221 yards of offense, 114 in the first half, 107 in the second. But remember, Hack, like 35 or 40 yards came right at the end of the half when it didn't matter. So you take those away, and they were sub 180 on offense tonight, which is just a tremendous performance from Vegas. Give Tyler and Curtis your F's in the chat in postgame as they wrap this one up shortly. There's not much to wrap up here tonight. Vegas goes to 4-4. Denver falls to 3-5. What a clutch victory on the road. And who's your player of the game, Hack, before we send it over to him?
Yeah, Monday nights. My player of the game, and this one's, Hubba Kimbrell. It's just been so fun watching this young player, and has my respect in this one. I don't think his team got the win if he didn't show up in the way that he did. Carried him to a victory. So my MVP or my most valuable player for this game is Hubba Kimbrell.
Yeah, I could see that. I'm gonna give it to Wyo. Just I think he just blew up this whole passing game. And yeah, they did a great job on Bailey early and often, but man, he was really good in the open field. That Denver just could find nothing. 8th best in the league in third down percentage, and Denver goes 3 for 12. Here's some of the final numbers scrolling across your screen. Tyler Falk and Chris Curtis have your post game. There's Hubba's final numbers. Wow, Bailey, 13 for 58. Never thought I'd see it. He led all receivers, and then Logan Keel followed up with 6 for 67. Stephon Forge, 17 solo tackles trying to wrangle Hubba Kimbrell, but it wasn't enough on this night. Hugo with our only sack. Devore, Santagria, and Reside all with picks, and nearly a pick 6 there for Reside on the 72-yard return. Thanks, everybody, for joining us next week on Impact Monday. It's a big one. Portland and Arizona, 4-4 versus 5-3, and then the week after that, Jacksonville tries to save their season as they host DC. That game huge for playoff positioning. For all of us at the SFL, thanks for watching the Monday Night Spectacular, and before we go, it's Tyler and Curtis back at the studios. Take it away, boys.
Well, Vice Wars 14 goes the way of Sin City alongside Tyler Falk, who is now in his correct camera window. I am Chris Curtis inside my correct camera window. 17-3, the Fury come through on the road. A huge win for them for playoff positioning over the Denver Nightwings. And give me a snapshot, your initial thoughts coming onto zeros at the final buzzer of this game, Tyler, as Vegas gets the win.
I felt myself being almost... from the game show, Whose Line Is It Anyway? Almost like you forgot to put us in the correct spots there, Mr. Ryan. And get back into my little cubby hole as the official intern of the broadcast team. Any McHoozle. I said at halftime that Denver looked like the better team coming into the second half, barring down by 7 points. Denver, did you forget to come out of the locker room for the second half? Because don't get me wrong, 17 unanswered points after an opening drive field goal, nothing. I mean, it just was lackluster, and the offensive attack was dull. And here's what I mean by that: 22 targets to Logan Keel and Jeremy Mosley. You give 10 more receptions to Bailey O'Shaughnessy, that takes up roughly 32 of the passing attempts from Gene Struthers right there. Now, that does not include the last 5, which two of those targets went to Dylan Lewis, but the other 3, I think, were also in target to Bailey O'Shaughnessy. You've got 2 tight ends, Chris Altair and Keith Wheeler, out there in the formation. Nothing, not even a target in the passing game. You've got Alex Jackson waiting in the wings as a deep slot receiver. It was so one-dimensional. Cam even brought it up. The screen play on 3rd and long looked like it was the only play they would run. And so Las Vegas only had to really game plan for maybe a handful of plays, it seemed like, and they did exactly that. And then the offense, did its job in the second half, get some extra breathing room from a potential Denver comeback that would never come, and Hubba Kimbrell, nearly 250 yards on the ground tonight. Just a phenomenal day for Hubba, and it just showed Las Vegas was really in no trouble and no pressure in that second half tonight.
You're right. And talking about Bailey O'Shaughnessy real quick, it's not like Bailey played badly. I mean, 13 for close to 60 yards, that's, you get him a 30 carry game, and that's not a bad day at the office for Bailey O'Shaughnessy. It seemed like the entire onus of today's game was on Struthers, and his selection process through his routes just were not where they needed to be. Like you said, a couple of key players, including the tight ends, missing targets on that side of the ball. And on the other side, Eric Price had a laissez-faire day. I mean, he had a couple of picks, but he played just good enough to get his team a win, and then Hubba Kimbrell did the rest, who's not by any means a flashy or spectacular back, but you put him in open space and he's going to put a shoulder into you. So, yeah, you and I are on the same page as far as that goes, and that puts Vegas into the driver's seat. Their SOV goes over 500 on this win, as well as they put themselves in the driver's seat in a couple of tie-breaking spots and get themselves into a 4-4 scenario. So they're at 500. They can work the next couple of games and see if maybe they can get into a more solid position in that division as well. So good stuff from the Vegas Fury, even the Night Wings. Yes, they have some things to work on, but this is still a good team. So they'll bounce back. We know Jeremy Vega knows what he's doing over there. So we definitely look forward to seeing what they can do. But it is a Monday Night Spectacular that was rather unspectacular for Denver, but that remains to be seen if they can bring it back. Tyler, your thoughts going into next week, though, as we have a big matchup. It is Portland and Arizona, as these two teams vying for middle-of-the-road playoff spots at the moment. Give me your thoughts going into that game.
Arizona in a couple slip-ups, but find themselves in the top 8 of the playoff seeding. Portland very, very sneakily being one of the better teams coming out of the Pacific Division, and a very, very spicy looking matchup coming up. Portland has already gotten the better of a couple teams this season. We'll see if they can get the better of Arizona next week.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Eddie Gage is sweating about that game, as he is with every game just about in this not only this era but in the APF era as well. We know how Eddie is for sure. So should be a fun one, as the streets will be talking. And I believe Tyler, do we have Nexus After Dark tonight?
I don't think we do. I think Access After Dark is taking another week off. He'll be back next week if I have all of that correct. Let me double check, because I can go ahead and take a look at everything.
I do think he'd be in the chat if that's the case. So usually he is.
Usually he is, but I do believe he will be back next week.
Okay, so if that's the case, then this will be the last to hear of the Monday Night Spectacular tonight, as we get ready for Week 10 into the double digits. Just 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Those 5 weeks are remaining in the regular season. Yes, I can count. I didn't even need 2 hands. It's pretty good. But a lot of playoff scenarios still yet to be written. A lot of teams can be from under the line to outside the possibility zone to finding the way in, as we've seen a couple of times in SFL history. Going to be a lot of fun. A lot of drama yet to unfold in this 21st season of the Simulation Football League. But for now, for Tyler Falk, I'm Chris Curtis, and for everybody here at the SFL Studios, including the statisticians, Cameron Irvine and Stephen Hacker, I'm Chris Curtis. And we will see you for Week 10 in just a few days' time. 5 weeks to the playoffs in the Simulation Football League. Have a good night, everybody.